Hello, and thank you so much for joining me tonight. Tonight I've got a really nice, quick, easy craft for you again, where if you've not got much time, we can do this. Now, tonight is all about not wasting your money. So I've seen a lot of companies doing those really cool blobby backgrounds where you get this nice splotch of ink. So it might look like a paint drop, might look like coffee stains, or might just be some random shapy blob. And I thought, why would I spend money on stamps like that when I can just make it myself? So that's what we're doing. So I've got myself some craft foam. This stuff is from the range. I think it's actually on sale right now, quite cheap. So I'll link it down below. They also have a whole bunch of different colors. I have loads of it for my kids, for me in the craft room. Really easy to work with. You can get it at dollar store, pound shops, all kinds of places. Anyways, I'm going to start by cutting myself a blob. This is the stamps that I want to use. So I'm going to put my stamp on top and just cut some kind of random pattern all around it. It's literally just that. It's so simple and easy and gives such a clear, effective result because craft foam makes such a great stamp. Now I went and cut myself a square card base because my blobby and my stamp are that sort of size where I need a bit more like a square to make it work. I could have done a more elongated shape and used a tall, long stamp. But whatever's in your stash, dig it out, cut yourself a little blob to go behind it, and get cracking. So I'm going to use the Stormy Sky Distress ink, and that sticks beautifully to these craft foam sheets. They're really great. They absorb almost every kind of ink, probably every kind of ink to be fair. It does look a bit blotchy, but you'll see it in 2 seconds when it's all dry, and it looks absolutely fine. So next thing I'm going to do is put my first bit of my stamp down and line it up where I want it to go. I'm using a stamp platform today, and I think a stamp platform is really essential with this kind of technique because you need something that you can stamp again and again if your distress inks are not going to show up very well if you're using distress inks. They don't stamp brilliantly. They're not meant for stamping. They're meant for ink blending and backgrounds. Hence why I'm going to come and use my Versamark. I'm going to ink it up with Versamark, which makes it a sticky surface. And I find my ink just sticks so much better to that stamp and I can get a much clearer image. It also makes a difference if your stamp pad is dry or really juicy. So I went and re-inked my stamp pad and got a much clearer, crisper image as well. When you're working with distress oxides, I'll share another sample with you at the end of the video. Make sure your layers are dry between because you can see on my card, my pink card at the very end, it's a little bit smudgy because I didn't wait for that blobby to dry because I inked it quite well and got it quite saturated. So just bear that in mind. Now I've added my second layer, which is the black outline, and I think it looks cracking good. And you would never guess that I cut that little background myself. Well, maybe you can, it's a bit messy, but I love that look. I love having that kind of splotch of color, and then you can stamp your sentiment on it and kind of finish it off quite nicely. To give it a little bit more character and dimension, I'm adding some foam tape. You could of course take your foam sheets again and cut yourself a square, which I kind of regretted not doing, so I did that on my last 3 cards that I share with you. I do go ahead and just use that foam and make my own little pop-up section of foam paneling. So I've got that card nearly ready. Should have stamped this little last bit before I stuck it down, but never mind. It's a nice small stamp and works quite well. It's the 2U from the set, so I'm going to go and stamp that at the bottom, and that finishes off that card. Nice and simple, quick and easy, really good masculine card. Great card for like a little birthday party if your kids are going to a friend's birthday and you want a quick, easy card. You can bosh one of these out real fast. I also went and made up this coffee card, which I thought was really fun, and I used some gold embossing powder, cut myself a blob that was much smaller so that it suited the stamp set and also suited a standard size card. So here's my little blob that I cut. Didn't think much about it, just chopped it out, and then I inked up my panel with some Versamark and some gold embossing powder, and this is the stamps that I used here. I will have all these stamps, of course, in the description box if you want to check them out for yourself, and I'll also try and link that foam down there for you so you can find that if you're looking for that and you're in the UK. Otherwise, any craft shop will sell some foam, and I just find it really handy. This one here, the green one, I did in gold embossing, and here's the one I told you about where it kind of smudged slightly because I didn't let the panel behind it dry before I did the happy birthday. But I love how they all turned out. I think they were super fun and super easy. So I hope you have a go yourself. If you do, please do share it over on my Facebook group. We'd love to see it. There's a lovely group of people over there. We've got over 2,000 members now, which is really fun. Or tag me on Instagram if you put it on Instagram. I will leave my links, my social media links down below, and the Facebook group. And I look forward to seeing you next week. Take care. Have a fantastic weekend. Bye.